After beating Denmark 4-2, Scotland have qualified for their first World Cup in 28 years. In this video, we're going to break down how Scotland resisted Denmark's pressure, how they exploited the opposition's defensive weaknesses, and how they found smart, realistic attacking solutions to go and get the ultimate job done. Hello and welcome back to the Total Football Analysis YouTube channel. My name's Jack Ward, where throughout the week, we're going to be diving deep into the tactics that make the beautiful game so brilliant. Let's go. Scotland started the match with real aggression and clarity about how they wanted to hurt Denmark. They used their athletic and physically aggressive attacking players to press high onto Denmark's defenders and specifically targeted Denmark's slower, more patient build-up. From the early stages, they were able to force mistakes in Denmark's defensive third. On several occasions, they intercepted passes and recovered the ball in dangerous positions near the Danish penalty area. In fact, Scotland made more tackles, interceptions, blocks and clearances than Denmark in the game, with the Scottish backline being involved in a combined 37 defensive actions. In fact, one of those early recoveries led directly to the opening goal. On the right-hand side, Hickey, Doak and Christie combined to create an overload, swarming the box, winning it back and then delivering across into the box before Denmark could reset their shape. And that move, I think, encapsulates Scotland's attacking plan, the one they executed throughout this game, even when things did get a little bit tense. It was very clear they wanted to press high, win the ball back close to the goal and then attack the box quickly with numbers rather than spending long spells circulating possession, in a way similar to what Denmark did. And that vertical approach that Scotland used made Denmark's backline uncomfortable and forced them into making rush decisions and forcing them to engage early. And within that structure, Scott McTominay has emerged as one of Scotland's primary weapons. His timing, his movement, his finishing inside the box gave Clarke's side an extra striker in midfield. On the first goal, his positioning is excellent. As the cross comes in, McTominay effectively swaps roles with Dykes, stepping into the near post zone, while Dykes drifts towards the far post and drags defenders with him. John McGinn adds a third attacking presence from behind, which means Scotland are attacking the box with two striker-like runs and a trailing runner on the edge. And I mean, the goal itself is crazy, isn't it? The bicycle kick is phenomenal and I think perfectly captures the individual story of McTominay over the last 18 months. His confidence, his impact and the swagger he now possesses. It was a brilliant moment. But what I think is also important to mention is it's not just a spectacular goal on its own. It's the product of intelligent positioning and composed execution. He times his adjustment perfectly, coordinates his body well, and strikes through the ball with enough power and accuracy to beat Schmeichel. It's a fantastic finish, but there's so many aspects to go alongside that. The whole thing is phenomenal and was, of course, a very, very significant moment in the game. I should say a huge thank you to the brilliant writing team over on the Total Football Analysis website. They put this brilliant work together. I haven't been able to include every piece of detail that they put into this specific article because they went so in depth. So to get that full article and so many more, make sure you hit the link in the description down below. And as I alluded to a moment ago, across the last few seasons, McTominay has developed into a genuine finishing threat from midfield. And this goal only confirms that progress. His late runs into the box, his ability to arrive in dangerous zones, and his rare tendency to waste chances makes him a really key part of Clarke's attacking blueprint going into the World Cup. But after that goal, as expected, Denmark, they grew into the game. They pushed Scotland back with repeated waves of attacks as they chased an equaliser. Scotland, defending a lead, became a little bit more cautious in possession and didn't commit too many players forward, which in turn gave Denmark more space to dominate the ball. In fact, McTominay's goal in the first half was Scotland's only shot before the break, conceding 78% of the ball, making only 61 accurate passes. Eventually, Denmark did equalise early in the second half, which shifted momentum again and forced Scotland to respond. And Scotland did answer, and that came through a set piece and the intelligence of Lawrence Shankland. On a corner, Shankland positioned himself close to Schmeichel rather than joining the main crowd of players in the middle of the box. And by doing this, he avoided being tightly marked and stayed out of the defender's immediate field of vision. As the cross was delivered, Denmark's defenders were preoccupied with the main group of Scottish runners attacking essential areas, which allowed Shankland to move into the space and make contact without serious pressure. Very intelligent. This subtle piece of movement and awareness of the blind spot near the goalkeeper turned a routine corner into In the end, what looked like a pretty clear scoring opportunity. Scotland manager Steve Clarke didn't just sit on his initial game plan either, which I think is really important. One of his key in-game adjustments was to make John McGinn a central part of Scotland's wing play. McGinn's agility, dynamism and low centre of gravity made him an ideal player to test Denmark's fullbacks on both sides. During the second half, Clarke shifted him from the left wing to the right, changing the angles of Scotland's attacks and asking Denmark a different series of defensive questions. McGinn and McTominay took up the roles on the wings. This meant Scotland now had two strong runners and ball carriers out wide, and central presence in Shankland who could link up play and arrive in the box. And as the match did move into its final frantic phases, it became clear that Scotland were unlikely to break Denmark down repeatedly through intricate open play combinations. And Denmark, despite their flaws, were defending crosses and set pieces really well in the first phase, and that forced Shankland and Scotland to look at another route to goal. The answer then came from their work on second balls and their willingness to shoot from distance. I think you know where we're going to go from here. The decisive moment arrived via Kieran Tierney. After Scotland had pushed forward and Denmark had cleared that initial ball into the box, the second ball dropped outside the area. Kieran Tierney reacted first, stepping onto it and hitting it first time. It was a curved shot from distance, a phenomenal finish. That goal put Scotland back in front and punished Denmark for failing to deal with the second phase of play. It also highlighted an important tactical point. Being dangerous on second balls massively increases a team's attacking variety. When clear-cut chances from structured attacks are hard to come by, that ability to score your rebounds, your partial clearances, your long-range efforts, they become crucial. Scotland show that they were able to do that. It's not always sexy. It's not always a bicycle kick, but it's bloody efficient, and it worked a treat here. They were able to press Denmark's slow build-up intelligently in the early stages and punished those defensive areas. They used McTominay's late runs and refined finishing as a primary weapon to attack the areas. They scored from a cleverly executed corner through Shankland's fantastic movement. They adjusted their shape and personnel using McGinn and McTominay as wingers to restore balance and threat. And when all failed, they used solutions from the good old second ball and wallop through the hero that was Kieran Tierney. And if Scotland can tighten their defensive structure just a little bit and get a bit more consistent output from those strikers, could this night be remembered not just as the end of a very long wait, but also the beginning of a dangerous World Cup campaign for Scotland? Let us know in the comment section down below. Congratulations on that qualification. And we'll see you very soon. Take care.
Want to take your football analysis to the next level? Visit totalfootballanalysis.com now and get a 2-week free trial. Gain exclusive access to in-depth match breakdowns, scouting reports and expert insights. Don't miss out. Start your free trial today.